let's get it going. You know, the thing about Natural American Spirit cigarette, it's going to be harder to draw. It's going to last longer. Why? Because last I knew, they put more than other cigarettes in their product, the cigarette. They put 25% more tobacco. What are the ingredients of Natural American Spirit cigarettes? Water, tobacco. I think they stop at water and tobacco. I'm not sure if they say anything about sunshine, but I'm sure they should say something about love. Water, tobacco, and love. Those are the ingredients of a Natural American Spirit cigarette. And once you smoke them, you'd rather go without. I've only made a mistake a couple of times of going without Natural American Spirit cigarettes, and I've never been too broke to have them. I think I was trying to quit smoking one time on a ruse. It was a fluke. It was just a bullshit. Why would you quit smoking? Because they told you to? And I said, I'm going to quit smoking. And somebody said, here, you want one? And I'm sure I'm going, yeah. No. See, I'm going to go back further than that. The times that before R.J. Reynolds or whoever they were bought them out and said, you can keep doing what you're doing, and they have. I have noticed no change in the quality of Natural American Spirit cigarettes since they were bought out by a larger company. What happened was they got better marketing, and they were more available. But in the times they weren't available, I'd go into a liquor store. I'm like, I need cigarettes. And they didn't have Natural American Spirit cigarettes before then. There was a phone number you could call where you could find them. When I was in Ann Arbor, when my mom was getting her brain cancer surgery thing, where they fucked her up, I was down there for about several days. A few to several days. 3-4 days I'd go with, for sure. I had to call the number to find out where I could get them. But it wasn't always that simple. You know, you'd be out of cigarettes, you stop in a liquor store and they don't have them. And you say, okay, I'm going to buy another brand of cigarette that's supposed to be the same type of... No, I just can't smoke them. I'm a picky eater. Once you go to Natural American Spirit and you get that buzz that they talk about from a cigarette, I still get it, only when I'm sitting there thinking, I need it. I go, cha, cha, watch this. Take it right down to the bottom. Take the whole breath. And there it is. Here it comes. There's that buzz that they promised me when I was smoking the other cigarettes to see how hard it would be to quit once I got addicted. I never got the buzz from those until I started smoking these. Somebody offered me a light, and I went, cool. I said, that's what they're talking about. Wow, isn't that good? Isn't that good? Come on, man. Everybody's doing it. It's a big day. It's a big day. Oh, this little Jehovah's Witness pamphlet that came out that I put the Post-it note on and etched out and stuck it on there. It's been with me for about 5-6 years at least. You got this guy do this in memory of me. It says in remembrance of me on the back. That isn't the way we read it. Oh, Thursday, April 9th, 2009. I was invited to find out. 2009. Oh my God, that's been 11 years. It's on the back. It's there, just for provenance. And yeah, you got Jesus doing that. And this guy's over here going, I'd like some more. But this thing has been sitting around in this little photo album. Oh, look, there's me when I won the trip to Mackinac Island on the radio when I was 17, right before going in the Army. There's me and there's Jeff getting pictures of us outside the window with our pyramid. But yeah, it's been riding around in the front. There's Jeff, good friend of mine. See him every once in a while when I'm back in Gaylord. He was from Vanderbilt. Friend of mine. Also a friend of the guy that was a manager at McDonald's when they fired me. He didn't get me fired. He's the one that warned me out long before it ever happened. I told you, I used to go through a gallon of milk a day. I cut it back because I don't take it to work anymore. But in the night, I go through about 5/8 of a gallon of milk a night, is what I figure. In my sleep, I love milk. I've always loved milk. And then there was that guy that I was in the wedding with a couple of years ago. He worked at McDonald's the same time I did too. And so did Jeff. That's how we became friends with Jeff. But I went to school, and that guy, he gave me a concussion in football practice one day because I was just a little guy, and he ran me over like a son of a bitch. Oh yeah, he sounded like a train coming at you and go, and he just fucking plow over you and step on your chest. But they had us holding the tackle dummies the one day, and he, pow! And the driver's ed teacher who was the coach, I was supposed to drive that day. He just dropped me off at my mom's house, at my mom and dad's at home, you know. And I had a concussion. I went to sleep. I'm getting hit in the head all the time. But there, because of Andy, I met Jeff. Andy is the guy that was the manager of McDonald's at the time. He called both Andy and me in one day, and he says, see, you guys, I don't know, because I would go into the walk-in cooler when nobody was looking. I would drink all those milks. It's like a drug. It was like, and I'd pitch them under the damn rack, thinking I was the only one doing it. But he called both of us and said, they're watching you guys. You got to be careful. And we're like, what are you talking about? They're finding these under the rack. And we walk out, and Andy and I, we'd done the tomato 45 plan at McDonald's too. There was some kind of weight loss program going on at the time where they'd squeeze an orange on the commercial or something. Grapefruit 45, we were doing the tomato 45. We'd giggle and smash tomatoes. We were wasting company money. It's no wonder they fired me. And he said, they're watching you guys. And that's when Andy and I found out that we were both drinking the milk, and there were bigger piles under there than we ever expected. And so then after that, we walk into the cooler a day or two later, and we're giggling. We both happened to be in the cooler at the same time getting lettuce or something. And we're looking at the milk, and we're sitting there giggling, and Andy's like, no, stop me. I can't stop myself. I'm like, you can do it, man. You can quit. And we're laughing. We're just making jokes, you know. And we walked out of the cooler laughing still. And the general manager and two of the other people that wanted to be the general manager were standing there just staring at us. They thought they caught us. We didn't drink any milk that day at all. But they got us both in the end. I got fired, and Andy got fired because he threatened somebody, a customer. And then Brian, he quit out of, boycott for Andy being fired. So they lost a lot of good people, and I went from being a pretty cool place to work with a place full of dorks. Oh, McDonald's. You do not understand the draw of people with charisma. So what I'm saying is, there's Jeff. We went to the Rat and Poison concert together that summer before I went to the Army, and then I took him as a friend, as my guest to Mackinac Island, where we went through all kinds of stories. No time to talk about it. But this thing has been riding around in that little photo album thing from when I was 17. There's got to be a picture of me when I was young. Oh, that's the JCPenney look right there. It really, more than anything, it looks like I'm trying to shoot a poop out into Lake Michigan. But that's when I was young. And so I see this sitting here, and I've used it before, and I've been waiting for a place, but look at that. There's that thing on the wall. I took the skill saw, bought a metal blade, picked up a file cabinet, cut the top off it, so I would have something that I could put magnets on. And I've got refrigerator magnets up there. And finally, it's time that I put a picture up. There it is. That guy would like some more. But all you got to do is realize that I've got magnets up there so I can put things up, because I've got all kinds of ideas. And look at there. That's my niece and her husband. That's them saying save the date. All that. That's when I drove out to Montana. Look at that. What a beautiful picture. They should be getting money for this. I don't have any. So much for royalties. But, yeah. And Victoria, she has one of these sitting up there on the side of her refrigerator. It's so amazing. That's when we came together. My sister, who's married to her brother, drew us out at the same time. And according to her story, I should let her tell it. she was thinking, I don't know if I can take the time off and go out to this wedding. And I don't know. She said, but I hear Judas is going to be there. And Judas was always good for conversation. She didn't know I was going to come after her like I did. I couldn't stop. It was time to finally accept the thing that should not be, according to my sister. My sister doesn't think much of her husband's sister. And I can say, too, my sister's husband probably doesn't think much about his wife's brother because he's a very quiet man. So he probably doesn't put much thought into anything now, or he's putting so much thought into it, who knows what's going to come out of it. But he's done very well without making no problem at all, any problem at all. But so there's another magnet. It's up there on the magnet. It's up on the wall. And I finally put up the picture. I found a place for that little Jehovah's Witness thing. Come on, man. Everybody's doing it.